Welcome to the Downtown Church of Christ YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us. Tonight we're going to be studying the topic of postmodernism. Postmodernism is hard to define, even harder to eclipse in the lives of those who claim to be Christians. Just how dangerous is it? Why don't we take a look? Join us now as Brother Robert Moss leads us in this very important study from the Bible. Let's begin.
Thank you, Brother Archie. Appreciate that kind introduction. I want to thank those of you who are responsible for giving me the privilege of being able to be here with you again tonight. Each time that I've been able to be here, I have greatly enjoyed the opportunity. I appreciate so much getting to know a little better the congregation here. So thankful for the privilege of being here. It is indeed an honor, and I'm glad to be here. If you're visiting tonight, welcome. Good to have you. Hope that you will make that a habit to be here at the downtown congregation. The subject matter that you have chosen for your summer series is a wonderful subject matter in the sense that we need to be aware of these dangerous-isms. Now, these are not new, but Satan is still using them. He is still using them in a way that is destructive as always. And we do need to be aware of these things. We need to learn about them. And the more we learn about them, the more we can readily recognize these isms as they are being played out in society around us. You know, sometimes you may wonder, well, what is this all about? You see people acting in certain ways and saying certain things. Well, what's that about? Well, a lot of times it's one of these dangerous-isms. And so I hope as you have been blessed, I've looked at your list of speakers, and I know a number of those men, some of them I don't, but I know a number of them, and I know that you have been blessed with wonderful lessons by these individuals, and that you will indeed, as you walk your daily walk of life, you will have a better opportunity to recognize some of these things so that not only you can be aware of it, but maybe you can help the individual to come out of that in Jesus Christ. Or you may help someone not to go into it by helping them to understand God's truth. Tonight, the dangerous-ism that I have the privilege of looking at with you is postmodernism. Now, a lot of people will say, well, what is postmodernism? That's why we're here tonight. We're going to answer that question. Now, I may not have time to get into all these solutions. And that's where I want to encourage you to be a student of the Word of God. Because while we may not be able to cover every aspect of those things tonight, as you study the Word of God and you know truth, you will then be able to recognize what is not true. Never underestimate the study of God's Word and laying it in your hearts. Postmodernism refers more to a period of time rather than it does a distinct ideology. At the end of the 19th century, here in the Western world, we had the idea that, well, we can come to an understanding and we can answer questions because we have various tools that we can use so we can come to an understanding. And people believed that there were absolute truths. Now, at times, people did not choose the right course of action to come to an understanding of those truths, and they were led astray. And Christians had the privilege of using logic in the Bible to help people to see the evidences that would show them truth. And during that time, it was called the modern world. Then we could take the evidences that pertain to such matters as the existence of God, the Bible being the inspired Word of God and such matters, and we could take those evidences, and if there was an honest and good heart, we could help that individual to come to an understanding of truth, the absolute truth that they were looking for. Yet, that modern world gave way to postmodernism. And postmodernism is a very disturbing and dangerous thing. While you had in modernism, you had people saying, well, you know, you're going to have to prove, you're going to have to make a logical argument, it's going to have to be based on evidences that are infallible in order for you to change me. And so evidences were so important. When you get into postmodernism, they throw all of that out the window. And you can bring forth all the evidences that you want to, but the postmodernist is not looking for evidence. The postmodernist has thrown out the traditionally held views, and as we will look at tonight, it's a very disturbing thing because they hold to a whole new set of assumptions about reality that are so dangerous. Evidence, logic, means nothing. So it doesn't matter if you're able to lay down evidences concerning the existence of God, or the inspiration of the Bible, or Jesus as the Son of God, or the resurrection of Jesus. Those evidences mean nothing to the postmodernist because they don't care anything about the evidences. Because all they want to do is think like they want to think and try to make everyone else think the way they want to think because that's the way they think. And it's all on the type of thinking. And this impacts our lives greatly. It impacts the lives of our children. It impacts the lives of our family. It impacts the lives of the Lord's church. It even impacts the lives of our country when it gets into our government. Postmodernism sees life as having no absolutes in the area of truth and meaning. Now, when you go back to just simple common sense says, well, of course there are absolutes. Of course there's truth. But the postmodernist says, no, there's not any. There are no absolutes. There are no truths. At least if there are, we can't find them and we can't know them. The purpose of life, its goal, are only about trying one opportunity after another and trying to see where they will lead us, but really never coming to any absolute truth on the matter. Many postmodernists assume that either no rational structures exist or that we can't know them. Like I said, they assume. They say, well, no one can know anything for sure, except, of course, that we cannot know anything for sure. Sounds illogical, doesn't it? It is. It's amazing that anyone could get anywhere with such statements as that. Because if we can't know anything for sure, how can they know that we can't know anything for sure? You see, it's self-contradictory. And it doesn't take someone who has given and devoted their life to studies of philosophy and theology and things to come up with an understanding that that is totally absurd. Anyone with common sense can see that. Amazingly, we're told that we do not know anything, but yet they know that. Postmodernism is a mindset that people have developed. And it's contagious, unfortunately. It's sad when bad things are contagious. It's wonderful when good things are contagious. Brother Green mentioned tonight about the importance of winning souls to Christ. That ought to be one of the most contagious things in all the world for us as Christians. But Satan has his own things that are contagious, and unfortunately, this dangerous-ism of postmodernism is one of those things. It does not want restraints. Postmodernism does not want a God that sets forth rules and guidelines that we must stay within. They don't want any restraints. Don't restrain me in any way. I want to do what I want to do. Well, obviously, there are things as we go along in life, there are things that need to be put away. There are things that aren't right or not going good, and we need to put those things away. But truth is always there. It's always there. It's always been there. And it's sad that these individuals are taking it in their mind there has to be a challenge going on for them to try to justify the thinking of, well, you can't know truth. But at the same time, they're trying to convince you of truths they believe. Sad contradiction. They want to say, well, we can't have one set of religious rules that are to be the guide for everyone's life. They'll say, well, Jesus, he can be a way, but he can't be the way. He can only be one of those ways. And by the way, concerning that, Jesus can be a great moral teacher as long as his views are not imposed upon those who might believe something different. Now that's what they'll say, but their actions go further than that. And we'll see that in a little bit. They're not content when it comes to Jesus, when it comes to the Lord's church, when it comes to Christianity. They're not content to just say, well, you just put it in there among all the rest. They're content with all of the rest. But they're not content with Jesus and the Lord's church and the Bible. We'll see this as we go along. They condemn anything that they say seeks to have control. And they look at God and say, well, the God of the Bible that you're talking about, he's seeking to have control. And, there should be no one thing controlling. But yet at the same time, isn't that what they're trying to do? They're trying to control you to think like they're thinking. So they are guilty of the very thing that they're trying to accuse God and the church of. They're doing the same thing themselves. And it's amazing to me how educated people, seriously educated people, cannot see the obvious contradiction there. Well, the goal ultimately for the postmodernists is to take away the authority of Scriptures. They do not want the authority of the Scriptures. They do not want God telling them what to do. They do not want a standard that they have to follow. So they say, no one system can dominate. You can't have a fundamental religion there. And they say Christianity, and one of their pet peeves is Christianity destroys culture. Well, in a sense that's true, because when we set forth God's truth, and if there are cultural things going on that are wrong, then the Bible calls for that to be straightened out, whatever it is. And whoever sides and whatever sides are there, they need to comply with God's will in the matter. And so, yes, it does make changes there. It does destroy cultural things, but only in a good way, if we follow what God says. The Ephesians, the truth was preached there. And in Acts chapter 19, and verse 18 and following, we find the results of that. And many that believed came and confessed and showed their deeds. Many of them also, which used curious arts, brought their books together and burned them before all men. And they counted the price of them and found it 50,000 pieces of silver, so mightily grew the word of God prevailed. You see, truth began in Ephesus. And there were those who had all of these other beliefs, and they believed in the magics and so forth, and when they saw truth, and they had an honest and good heart, they brought those books in and they burned them. They didn't want anything to do with it. And so yes, Christianity did destroy some cultural matters there, but they needed to be destroyed. And people needed to come together in the unity of Jesus Christ. Well, this is precisely what postmodernism is opposing. They do not want any one belief system to prevail over any other. Everybody's just supposed to hold everything sort of even. And modern attacks deny the truth of Christianity in the modern world. And they fail because we had the evidences that without a doubt prove they were wrong. But now you have people coming along with a mindset that says, I don't care what evidences you have. It doesn't matter what you can prove or think you can prove. It's just not right. And they just shove it to the side. And so when you talk to the postmodernists, they're not concerned about the evidences that you can have to prove to them biblical truths. And they just say, oh, well, no, that's not right. But yet they offer nothing to defend their position other than, that's what I said. And it's sort of an arrogant attitude. And so, because I say it, you should listen to it. I don't think so. Not when I have God's truths that say otherwise. And they want no discussion about truth and about evidences of what is right. They simply want to just dismiss it. Don't want to talk about it, they just dismiss it. Well, at least in the modern age, as we look at it, at least those people said, okay, sit down and you prove it. And so we have opportunities to take the love of Jesus Christ to them and take those evidences and show them how Satan had been working in their lives and how they could change. But the postmodernists, it doesn't matter about those truths. They just sort of write it off. Well, now I don't want to listen to that. I'm right, and I don't have to listen to it. Really? That's hard to combat, isn't it? It's hard when someone won't sit with you and talk about the evidences. They just dismiss the Bible, and supposedly they say, well, the Bible is in a position, and the writers of the Bible, that the authors culturally determine biases. And they talk about, for instance, Paul. They talk about Paul, and they say, well, you know Paul here. He was a male bias. Because you see, Paul was telling women that they had to be silent in the church. And they say, see, that is a cultural thing of his time. And he allowed that to come into his teachings. And they'll say, well, you know, we don't live in that culture now. And that culture has no right to dominate us. Again, they are opposed to restriction. But interestingly, they bypass the reality that these are inspired words. Paul's not just rattling off some of his beliefs and some of his ideals about his culture and time. He is presenting the inspired Word of God. And this postmodernist view makes it painfully clear that the role of the Holy Spirit in inspiring Paul is not considered a possibility. And thus the inspiration of the Bible is nothing. But you challenge them to disprove the inspiration of the Bible, and they will give you the time of day. Because they just say, well, that's just not that way. Now you listen to me, follow what I say. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to follow what somebody says just because they say it. They're going to have to give me evidences. They're going to have proof. But that's what's so hard with this postmodernistic idea, is you can't talk with these people with evidences and truth. Because they say, well, there is no truth. But they live by truths every day. Again, I don't see how any rational thinking person could say, well, we can't know truth when they live by standards every day. And they impose standards on others every day. It's amazing. For them, truth is relative. And there never can be a universal application. They argue that the Bible writers were only addressing circumstances related to their time, and it has nothing to do with us. One writer showing how the cultural arguments reflects the mindset of postmodernists wrote, "The point is that you cannot allow your moral and ethical decisions to be determined by the literature of a people whose culture and history are so far removed from your own." Now listen to this. He says, and this is Robert Williams, he says, "You must dare to say, so what if the Bible says it? Who cares?" Now that's the thinking. So what if the Bible says, who cares? And you say, well, I care because the Bible is the inspired Word of God. Let me show you the evidence. Well, I don't want any evidence. It's obvious it's not true. Hard to deal with mindset like that. The Bible is regarded by postmodernists as humanly constructed myths. And they willfully ignore the idea of a universal God who has standards and who, at the end of time, will call all men before him in judgment. They say if you wish to believe him, okay, but don't impose him or his morals on anyone else. Don't impose your thoughts on anyone else. But what are they doing? They're seeking to impose their thoughts on us. Folks, it's not hard to see that they're inconsistent. It's not hard to see that they simply have an agenda that they want to follow, and they're not going to listen to anyone or anything. They just want to go with their agenda and their ideology. And they want people to believe it without question. And they simply want to just brush away truth and God and the Bible just by saying, we dismiss it. I'm sorry, but you can't get away with that easily. There's too much involved. In postmodernism, they simply dismiss God and say, well, there are plenty of gods that deserve equal time, so just serve them. The attack of liberalism on Christianity in the last century was to deny the existence of God, deny the resurrection of Jesus Christ, deny miracles, regard his teachings as irreverent, and so forth. But the postmodernist mindset says, no, we don't have to even deal with these subject matters because we just ignore the idea of God, the idea of truth, the idea of moral standards. I came to a greater understanding of postmodernism a while back when at Highland we spent a quarter discussing this subject matter. And we used the Bible first of all, but we also I'd recommend a book by Brother Phil Sanders. Some of you know Brother Sanders, maybe you've seen him on the In Search of the Lord's Way television program. He wrote a book entitled Adrift. It'd be good for you to get on this subject matter.